Yo, do not fall into the trap of this game subscription bullshit they're talking about. Not talk about PlayStation Plus, they already got that, but or Xbox Gold or whatever the fuck it's called now, I don't know if they got the same name. But don't fall into the trap. Yo, so I was watching this video from Young, I was just editing and had this video playing in my ear, and I hear him talking about how, I think it was Ubisoft, they want people, or it was some company that was trying to get us comfortable with the idea of not owning our games, basically. We need to get used to subscriptions. When there's been games that just been taken away from us for good, for shit like this. Like, there's a lot of retro games that either never got transferred over here, or existed at one point, now they're just gone. It was kind of like that Super Mario 30th, I think it was the anniversary thing that came out a few years ago for the Switch. And it was only available for like a month, and that shit just disappeared. I don't know if it ever came back, but I'm like, no, you're not gonna do this. I'm like, I'm not cool with this shit. They want us to pay for something, premium price, and not own it. Blockbuster used to exist. In Blockbuster, you rented things. This is basically, you're renting your games now. That's basically what they were trying to say. They're trying to get us to rent our games, but still pay full price for our games. And if we do a subscription, there's still going to be bullshit. Let's say, like, you know what they're going to do? This is the first thing I see what's going to happen. Let's say you buy a subscription to whatever the fuck it is, and you get every game available at the current moment. Every single game available on PlayStation Store or whatever. Now, where is this going to go next? First thing I think is going to happen is they're going to start charging for new games still. Then they'll be like, oh, you have this subscription to you. This console pretty much going to be a subscription box going forward. And then if you don't have the subscription, you can't basically use it. And then when you do have your subscription, if a new game comes out, you're still gonna have to pay for it. It's just you're gonna have a back catalog of all these old games that came out before. But here we go. After like probably after a damn year, the game's gonna become part of the damn console or part of the subscription. But you're just gonna be shit out of luck if it came out before that or it came out afterwards. So let's say Last of Us Part 3, because I know that game's not out yet. When Last of Us Part 3 drops, this is a good example. Whenever that game comes out, you're not gonna have it just because you're paying for the subscription. Unlike something like Netflix, where at least Netflix is shitty, don't get me wrong, but at least with Netflix, when something new drops, if you have subscription, you're getting access to it. I don't have to pay extra. I can see them doing some shit like that. But I think something like that happened. I'm trying to remember. I think there's stuff like that already. Like, I know PlayStation Extra gives you like discounts. You get extra discounts on top of a normal discount in some sales on certain games. I'm like, let's put the game in PlayStation Extra at this fucking point. And then, how many games are you really getting? How many games are you going to care about? People aren't trying to play everything. It's more of, it's like a buffet mentality. All this food at the buffet, you're going to eat. Like, if you're at the buffet, you're going to eat probably the same amount of food you would normally eat, maybe a little bit more. But you're really paying for how much food is there and the variety of it. You're not going to have that much of the variety unless you want to fuck your stomach up. So you're pretty much paying to fuck your stomach up. And I feel like that's where game is going to be if we get subscriptions. That's going to be one of the big things I think is going to end up happening. And then the whole not owning it is ridiculous. Like, we already technically don't own digital games. They can disappear. People owned Scott Pilgrim, and we saw what happened to that game. After that game disappeared and it took so long to fucking come back, I was already on edge about digital shit. And if you don't know, for me personally, my PlayStation 4, because I still didn't buy a 5. I still haven't found the game that made me want to get a 5 that didn't come out on 4 yet. This shit, every game I pretty much own is digital since my disc reader is fucked. And I'm just not cool with the idea. I'd rather own my games physically if it's possible. And then they are trying to raise the price as well. They want us to get comfortable with paying more for games if we're not going to go down the subscription route. It's like, oh, okay, we'll do subscription route. Games need to go up to like $80 or more standard price. That's something else I heard from your Young video as well. And I'm like, no. $70 is kind of crazy already, considering what a lot of these games have. like if I'm playing a solid single player game, like I can see 70 to 80 for like a solid JRPG or RPG in general, because it's gonna have, most likely, as long as it has a good story. If you don't have a story that's gonna get me invested, it's gonna have a lot of gameplay. It's gonna be a lot of side quests and shit like that, most likely. So that's gonna buy a lot of time. I'm like, I can get my value out of this. Usually when I'm done with an RPG, I can't play no more for a while. It kind of drains me, and you get really invested in the fucking characters, and I be kind of depressed afterwards. I'm like, damn, I spent all this time and this is the end. Let me chill for a bit. Like, I didn't feel like that when I played like Horizon really, so I guess it's more, for me it's JRPGs. But when it comes to this fucking paying more for things we technically don't even own, because if you don't know, more companies are leaning towards digital because I'm not gonna say it makes more, but it saves more money. Because if you don't give people physical options, they're just not gonna, some people probably aren't gonna buy the game or know it exists if they don't really look at a digital store. But and then some people, it's just not feasible to download, because if you have bad internet and it's gonna take forever for you to download the game, you're probably better off going to the store and buying it. Even then, you got to download certain shit, which is another dumb thing. This is getting dumb. And then on top of that, if you have a subscription, you can download games, but if your internet's not working or whatever, you're just shit out of luck right there. They want to get used to game streaming. I'm not cool with none of this shit, bro. There is so much bad stuff they're trying to do. But yeah, imagine paying like $80 or more for a game you don't even own. And then Blizzard was apparently going around asking people about $100. Would they be cool paying $100 for DLC? I'm like, that DLC has to be more than the game I paid for. Like, if the price is more, the content got to be more. Like, if I'm like, it was a good game I like, Borderlands 2. If they charged more than the game's price for a DLC pack, it has to be more than the fucking game itself. And we know damn well that's not gonna happen. And you know Blizzard is a shitty company, so that's double ain't gonna work. Like, Blizzard had their wins long ass time ago. The last one they had was the original Overwatch. But you know, that's a whole different case. I don't know, Diablo 4 I hear good and bad things. I'm not into that series. But that's kind of all I gotta say right now. Don't let them trick you into thinking, oh, this is good. Don't let them trick you into thinking, oh, game prices are rising, like the cost is up and shit like that. It's like, they're saving money in other areas. That's the thing. Yeah, graphics are up and shit like that. Games are taking longer to develop. First off, they're choosing that. There's indie games that pop the fuck off. Stardew Valley is a game that popped this fuck off, and that was a goddamn indie game. Helldivers is a $40 game that's popping the fuck off hard as shit right now. That game, I don't know how many players are on it, but on Steam alone, it was like 400,000 players. That game is literally having to keep updating its servers to allow more people. Like, that's how hard that game is popping off right now. So I don't want to hear shit. I really don't want to hear none with these damn companies and they bullshit. What I say is honestly just leave shit how it is. Digital isn't the best, but I'm cool with having an option for it. But other than that, let's not just go all digital. But if they go all digital, I'm gonna be honest. If we're going fully digital, game prices they better go down. Game price have to go down. I'ma start going into a different hobby, bruh. I ain't gonna front. Y'all gonna start seeing goddamn interpretive dance videos and martial arts videos. I'ma lose weight and go into martial arts. Because I am not fucking with this idea so far. But that's about it for me. Like I said, they're saving money. They're already saving some money along with the digital. With making digital releases, they don't have to release as many physical copies. So if they go full digital, there's no physical copies, then there's no reason, because you don't have to pay for shelf space you don't have to pay for shelf space at Walmart or whatever the fuck these places are, and you also don't have to pay to make the cases in physical disc, make freaking, what's it called? The like actual physical cover art. You don't have to. They stopped doing that long ago from what I noticed, but they don't even make manuals anymore. And if they do have a manual, it's built into the game. So yeah. All of that? No, we can't do this. But that's it for me, bro. I'm not even gonna drag it on any further. This is Kingston, and we out this bitch. Take it easy, y'all.